The next step is to put on the power connector, and the power connector is going to be located right here, and we're going to put it in the very first row, and we're going to make sure that over here we leave one hole showing on the side of it, because we're going to need that later. Let me put it over here where you can see this hole has to be showing, the very first hole. So we've got to make sure that we leave that showing. And we're going to place this in the very first row. And that is barely showing, so we're going to move it over one more. So I've got this one, the first prong is in the 1, 2, 3rd hole over. And then we'll go ahead and solder that into place. And you want to leave the soldering iron there a little longer than you normally would, because this is your power for the whole board. So you want to make sure that this has a very sturdy and strong connection. You know, the solder's flowed nicely. Okay, even though there's a little more soldering to be done on this board, before we do any more of the soldering, by the way, you can turn your iron off, we're going to go ahead and, woohoo, do the wire wrapping. Of course, it's the most thrilling thing in the world. Not. Anyway, here is the wire wrapping tool that we put in the kit. It's a simple tool, but it works quite well. If you open up the bottom of it, this is your wire stripper. It comes inside the tool itself. And then you're just going to, I leave my wire in an entire roll and cut it as I need it. So you're just going to take your wire, you're going to hold your wire stripping tool like this, put your thumb over the wire so that it stays there, pull this through, and then pull. And you see, you get a nice clean wire. And I always like to cut the very tip of it, because I just find that the tip is sometimes jagged and it has a hard time threading through this, okay? So now the next step is that you're going to thread this through here. And there's a groove on the wire wrap tool. And you're going to push it all the way up until right here you can see the wire, not the bare wire, but the wire with the sheath on it. Okay, so like here I'm wire wrap, the wire I'm using is orange, so I can see orange right here. And then you're just going to follow the guide that's on the internet. It's on our website, on the very first page of the website. At the bottom of the page there's a guide for the proto board modifications, and it tells you step by step exactly what pin of the proto board to wire to what pin of the jacks that we put in here for, or the connectors that we put in here, I should say. So starting out, pin 0. So you're going to have to look on this side and find pin 0. Pin 0 is this pin right here. Okay, I know you probably can't see that clearly, but that's pin 0. So you're just going to now push it over to this side. So that's going to be this end pin right here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plop this on top of pin 0 and hold on to this wire, because otherwise it'll just keep twisting and twisting more and more, and you only want the amount that's of the sheath wire wrapped around it that's already in the tool. So hold the wire firmly and then start turning. And then you just keep turning, and you'll feel when it's released. See, I felt that it released. So we've got a nice little wrap there. So pin 0 is going to go to pin 1 on this connector, which this is pin 1. So now remember I told you I don't cut this until I can see. So I need that much plus enough to strip it. So I'm going to cut it about here. I'm going to get my stripping tool. I'm going to go ahead and hang on. I need to move over a bit, don't I? So I'm going to go ahead and hang on to this while I push it through my stripping tool and pull. And now I've got a stripped end. And then I'm going to go ahead and push it into my wire wrap tool, place it on top of pin 1, and turn. And that's all there is to it. And then you just follow the guide to see what goes next. So my next one is going to be pin 1 from the Parallax board, which is the very next one over. This was pin 0, so this is pin 1. Pin 1 is now going to go to pin 2 of the connector. Okay, so that's where I'm going, from pin 1 to pin 2. So that's the next one. Okay, see how I pulled that right on off? And then I'm going to stick it in the tool. I'm going to drop it over pin 1, nice and securely. Hold on to the wire and twist. I'm now going to pull this over. I'm just trying to decide which way I want it to lay. I guess I'll do it that way. It's going to go to this pin here. Then I want to leave enough to go ahead and expose the wire. And I take this tool and I strip the wire. That one's got a little bit of a tail. Sometimes they do, like I said, so I'm going to cut that little tail off just so it goes easily into the wire stripper. And I'm going to put it in the tool. There it goes. I can see the wire in the sheath. And I'm coming down. Let's see. To this pin. And I'm going to turn it. And there we go. Okay. And then you just keep going, just like that. Okay. So, P0 went to pin 1. P1 went to pin 2, P2 went to pin 3, P3 went to pin 4, P4 went to pin 5, P5 went to pin 6, P6 went to pin 7, P8 went to, P7 went to pin 8, and then these two are left open for now because those are ground. And you're going to find the same thing over here. These two will be left open, and now we're going to wire to this series. Okay, that grouping is done, and it's kind of nice because this grouping also follows a nice little pattern. So you've got P8 goes to pin 1, P9 goes to pin 2, P10 goes to pin 3, and P11 goes to pin 4. Okay, the wire wrapping is almost done. We just have 4 more pins that need to be wire wrapped. We need to wire wrap pin 23 through pin 20. So that's going to be 23, 22, 21, and 20, these 4. And these 4 pins are going to control our 10-pin connector for our data logger so that we can have a message storage device connected to this. So then we've not only got the RAM, these 2 10-pin connectors will talk to the memory expansion board, the RAM, but then we also have the storage, the large storage capacity. This actually runs a thumb drive.